Hey Gadiel, it's Matt. I'm here to give you some feedback on your essay this week for positive attitude, having a positive attitude. All right. I just want to say that you did a good job of getting a lot of thought, giving a lot of thought to this essay. You have a nice amount written, and most of it's pretty well written. There are a few grammar mistakes I'll try to point out, and I think criteria and try to point out a couple of them as well. But I just want to remind you that, if you ever feel uncomfortable with what you're writing, like you're not sure if it's grammatically correct, make sure you're asking, not only me, maybe you can shoot me an email, or ask your teacher, or ask your friends, or ask your parents, somebody to proofread your essay uh, before you submit, because you might have a few grammar errors that you're not sure or you might not see, and somebody else might catch those for you. All right, so let's look at the criterion comments. You have a subject verb agreement issue here. It says a positive attitude is not what you learned, it is a skill you have since you born. I think here you should enter the word were. So since you were born, because if you're talking about the past tense, you need a word in there that's going to refer to the past tense. So have since you were born. Easy fix. All right. I looked at this users thing. It doesn't mean anything. I don't know why they highlighted it. All right. Let's go to the comments. All right. I think the first thing I said was I want you to get in the habit of putting spaces before each paragraph. Hitting the tab button on the keyboard. It helps you keep track of your paragraphs, helps the reader keep track of your paragraphs, and it's just good organizational habits. And also, I'm pretty sure it's required in most of your essays in the future, if not already. So make sure you're putting a space between each new paragraph so it keeps your organization and your flow of your essay. Let's see, positive attitude. What can you do to help your friend have a positive attitude? I see that you said you can lead your friend or tell your friend to have a positive attitude. It's not always easy to just tell your friend, be positive. What exactly can you do to help your friend have a more positive outlook? Give an example of that. Put that in your essay. It's a good way to, examples are a good way to show the reader that you know what you're talking about, so that they should listen to you when you're telling them why a positive attitude is important. All right. Uh, this paragraph here, all the way from also to R, it's got a lot of good points, a lot of good, single sentences, but those sentences don't really connect. So let me read it out to you, see if you understand what I'm saying. You can succeed in life and have a better life than anyone. Having a positive attitude is pretty hard for many people. Just having a single skill, you can accomplish many things. Have a job, and you might keep that job by how you are. A lot of these things, they're good ideas, but they don't really fit together. So I would say either make them write sentences that have to do with each other, that are on the same general idea, and then if they're not in the general same idea, then rearrange your paragraphs to make one paragraph focus on one main thought, instead of one thought could be having a job and keeping that job. Another thought slash paragraph could be having a positive attitude can be hard for some people. But if you're just throwing in a bunch of ideas into one paragraph and it doesn't really make sense together, then you're not really doing a good job of organizing your paper. So think about what ideas you want to group together and how you should group those together. All right, skill. Let's say is having a positive attitude a skill? I would say a skill is being good at singing or being good at shooting a basketball. That's a skill. Being a positive person would be more like a trait or a mentality. It's a state of mind. So think about the words, like the meaning of the words you're using, because what might sound good isn't always the correct vocabulary that you should use for a certain instance. So try replacing skill with trait or attribute or mentality. It's several places in here you could fix that, especially when you're talking about something like an attitude. An attitude isn't really a skill. All right, just a little expansion request here. What kind of reward? Use examples. Be specific. What kind of reward will you get for being a positive person? And I like your conclusion transition here. In essence, it sounds fancy and it makes sense. I'm glad you realize how to use transitions. You did one here. Lastly, that's good as well. Lots of good things in your essay, as always, but there are definitely some small things you should work on. Ask for help from the teacher to get more grammar in-depth fixing. And other than that, I think your paper is pretty good overall. Just make sure you're organizing things in a proper way. Think about how you want to group similar ideas together rather than just getting all those ideas out onto the paper. All right. Good luck on editing this, and I will see you next week.